Hey, what's up everybody? TooTallToby here, and in today's SolidWorks Power Move, we're going to talk about how you can take an image from SolidWorks and drop it directly into PowerPoint. And not just drop it into PowerPoint, but drop it into PowerPoint with the background removed. So let's get into it here. This is actually a really simple process coming out of SolidWorks. The first thing you want to do is get your model ready for kind of like a pseudo rendering. You're not dumping it into a rendering engine, but there are some things you can do in SolidWorks to make this thing look more realistic. So the first thing you would do is you would go through your appearance library and just find the appropriate or the desired appearance for these different components. Like in this case, I'm going to take the center hook here and I'm going to use the black paint appearance for that body, and then that body is used in a pattern, so you see that's applied to all of the bodies. But we don't see any of the reflectivity or anything. Well, if we want to see that, we have to turn on real view graphics. So look at that. Now this thing is looking a little bit better. We get that nice reflectivity off those wooden parts, that nice reflectivity off those painted parts. This thing's looking pretty good. But we still have a lot of noise in the background here. The plane, the origin, any sketches that we've got shown are going to show up. Well, instead of going through the tree and hiding all of them individually, you can just click on the eyeball here. When you click on the eyeball, what that does is it hides everything. So you just click on the eyeball to hide everything, and now we are starting to move forward here the way that we want to move forward. There's some other tools you can turn on and off over here as well, like turning on shadows and shaded mode might make it look a little bit more realistic, turning on ambient occlusion. This model doesn't really have too many overheads or pockets or anything, so ambient occlusion doesn't really affect the display of this model, but there's some models where ambient occlusion really brings that additional level of realism. So I would encourage you to experiment turning that on and off. And then finally, perspective. I think perspective is probably the one that gives it the most realism. Now, the way perspective works is there's a thing called an observer position, which I like to think of as how large or how small are you compared to the object. So if you go in here to view, modify, perspective, when you have perspective turned on, what you can see here is that by adjusting this number, you kind of make yourself larger or smaller compared to the object. So at 4.5, if this is a coat hanger rack here, then it's pretty much the size that you would experience it as a human. But if we went down to a much smaller number like 1 or even like 0.1, well, now it's almost like you're an insect or like an ant. You're very small compared to the object. And so sometimes adjusting this number can either give you a more realistic effect of the size of the part, or sometimes just an artistic effect. Like, I want to show this coat hanger, but I want to show it as though I'm standing right next to the coat hanger. So it's the observer position. I'm very close to the coat hanger. It's got a lot of perspective. Usually I keep that number between 1 and 3. Sometimes I go a little crazy and maybe I'll call it like 0.5, something like that. But those are some settings that you can adjust to get this thing to look realistic. And then finally, you just want to rotate and position the part as needed. You want to remember that you can use the control command to pan if you combine it with your middle mouse button to pan, and you can use the shift button to zoom with a little bit more of a gradient, a little bit more of like an analog distance. See, sometimes I've been in spots where if I roll the mouse, it's too much. Like, I don't want it here and I don't want it here. I want it somewhere in between. And rolling the mouse, I only have these two options. So what I could do is I can hold shift and then middle mouse button, not rolling the wheel, but just pressing down on the button the way you do when you rotate, and then that gives you a little bit more of like an analog option for your zoom. And so now finally we've positioned this thing the way that we want it. Now the main point of today's power move, how do I get this out into a format where the background is moved so I can drop it into my PowerPoint? The way that we do this is we go File, Save As, and when we go into File, Save As here, we change this to a .png. So you go in this menu here and you say Save As .png. And once you choose .png, this button shows up here that says Options, and in the options you have this option for remove background. See, this is one of the big differences between bitmap and JPEG and PNG. With bitmap and JPEG, you can't remove the background. It doesn't have that extra alpha channel that you can define as being transparent. But with a PNG, you do have that option. So when we do a file save as PNG, we can say remove background, make sure that that's checked on, say OK. And then the other thing that you want checked on is here, you want to say view PNG after saving. So I'm going to call this one here coat hanger render 01. and then view PNG after saving, and I'm going to say save. And so what that does is it saves it off as a PNG with the background removed, and it opens it in your default photo preview tool, which in my case is just the Windows Microsoft Photos. But what's cool here is you can right click and choose copy, and then you can jump back into your PowerPoint and you can just press Control V, and boom, there is your SolidWorks model brought into your PowerPoint as a PNG. You can see it's got transparency, so you can see directly through this for the solid parts. And then if you have parts that are transparent or parts that maybe are in this case it's like shadows, if you have shadows in your design, the shadows have transparency with the transparency dialed to a certain percentage. So it's not full transparency, it's like partial transparency. So you can do that as well when you save as a PNG. A little pro move here when you're in PowerPoint, if the image is too big and it starts to become prohibitive, like I want to edit the text here but I can't get to the text, you can right click on an image in PowerPoint and say crop, and that way you can bring this down to almost exactly the extent of the image. Watch your shadows there, but almost exactly the extent of the image. And now you can see I can get in and edit this text a little more easily. It's just a little bonus pro move there. But that's it. That's today's power move. A lot of times people think you have to like make the background green and then bring it into a photo editor and then select that green color and then delete the green color. You don't have to do any of that. You can just do a file save as PNG. And if you go through and you adjust some of your settings, you can almost get like a pseudo rendering of your model before you kick it off to a PowerPoint. This makes a great impression with customers, whether you're working with a new customer that you're trying to sell to or working with an existing customer, and just seeing the realistic images helps them visualize their design as you're going into a design review. It's so easy to do. Why not do this? It just really makes a good impression with your customers. And that is why I think this is a good power move. And if you agree, be sure to hit the like button on this video. Leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you thought about today's power move. And if you like my style of teaching, be sure to check out our links down below. You can sign up for some of our training classes where you can learn how to be a SolidWorks professional. I've really enjoyed making this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this one, and I will look forward to seeing all of you in the next TooTallToby Power Moves.